Today on Garage Time, Shawn and I are going to review your 2018 Volkswagen Atlas.
The Atlas we're having a look at is the Comfortline, which comes with the following features: front assist autonomous emergency braking, Climatronic 3-zone electronic climate control, keyless access with push button start, blind spot detection with rear traffic alert, and adaptive cruise control. This Atlas is equipped with the 3.6 liter V6 FSI VR6 engine, putting out 276 horsepower and 266 foot-pounds of torque. Here's what that sounds like.
So showing you legroom in the back. Shawn had just set up the seat to drive. He's 5'10", I'm 6'1", and as you can see, I have ample legroom in the second row, but we'll see what happens when I get in the third. The rear row or third row of an Atlas actually has 2 seats, and as I'd mentioned, I'm 6'1", and I'm pleasantly surprised I actually fit, and I have a little bit of legroom. Can't say I'd want to go on a really long drive, but pleasantly surprised.
So just a demonstration quickly of what Mike was talking about in terms of legroom. This is the amount of legroom that I have, 5'10", with these middle second row seats fully forward on the track. But it's got a nifty little trick where I can move the seat back, and if you can tell, I probably have about a foot of distance between my knee and that driver's seat. So the driver's seat's set for my driving preference, which is 5'10", and now I have the second row fully back, and there's an immense amount of room. I mean, if I stick my arms out, I'm barely touching the seat with my fingertips. And I'm thinking, with having kids, having little feet kicking the back of your seat, this is a feature that could potentially eliminate that whole situation. I mean, as a full grown-up, if I can't touch it, I'm very doubtful little feet could kick that seat. So looking down from the second row at the center console, we have our 2 HVAC vents and climate control with automatic settings where you can just set the temperature that you'd like and let the vehicle figure it out, or you have your manual fan settings. And a little further below, we have a 12-volt input with 2 USBs. So from the second row, if we look at the passenger door, I have the sunscreen up to show you kind of what it looks like. So if you see on the side how bright it is, and then how the visor kind of cuts down the sunlight. Looking into the door, we have the power window switch, 1 touch down, 1 touch up, and that controls the window, and that's all the controls that are on the door. So one feature that I absolutely love about the Atlas, and something I wish that my Flex had, is a feature on the second row seats that allows you to allow passengers into the third row, and if you have a child seat, using the UAS system clipped in, you can actually still move the seat forward and let your passengers in without having to undo that child seat. I'll just give you a quick demonstration of how that works. There's a simple latch up here, you pull it up. The entire seat moves forward but maintains its shape, and on tracks moves forward, allowing even a grown-up of my size to get in. Alright, and getting out, the same thing. You pull the latch, push the seat forward, and hop out. Another neat adjustment with the second row is the ability to move the seats up or back depending on your passenger's height and who's in the third row. So you can really customize it to get that perfect, comfortable fit for your passengers. So moving to the back of the Atlas, your cargo compartment is fairly decently sized, but if you are hauling something that's a little larger, you need some extra room. This third row actually folds forward, and it makes a flat load floor. I'll show you on the other side as well. So with the third row down, you have a much larger cargo capacity, and the seats kind of fold down into the floor slightly to give that flat load floor. And then getting them back up is as simple as grabbing the tether, pulling it, and they lock back into place. Ready for your passengers. Headrests come back up, and you're all set. Looking at the steering wheel, you have your cruise control and adaptive cruise control on the left-hand side, as well as the media controls on the right-hand side. So when you are using the adaptive cruise, you do have the ability to set your distance on the left-hand side here with these controls. So on the right-hand side, you have your standard infotainment controls, your skip, your volume, phone controls, voice activation, and everything you need to navigate through. Here we have the horn. Pretty solid horn. So looking at the gauge cluster, it's your standard analog gauges, fuel, temp, RPMs, and speed. And in the middle, you do have a little LCD screen with additional information. So we're just going to give you a quick look at what the startup looks like. So we've connected Mike's iPhone into the vehicle just to give you a quick look at what Apple CarPlay looks like on the infotainment system. Standard layout, you have music, maps, Spotify, everything at your disposal. It displays on the screen as it should. It looks pretty good, and it's very intuitive and easy to use. So looking at the screen in the middle, we have our heat and cooling controls. Full touch, and it does sense when you get close to it. I don't know if you saw that. And then you can kind of swipe down or swipe up your temps, as well as synchronize all three zones. So that would be driver, passenger, and second row. You have your heated steering wheel control here as well. And if we look down, you have the physical controls as well. So you have your heated seats, all of your vent controls, you have your temperature dial, have your defroster, as well as AC on this side. And again, if you want to sync everything up, it's just a matter of hitting the sync button and it'll get everything on the same page. And just below the HVAC controls, we have a USB input, a 12-volt charging port, and an auxiliary in. Now this USB port is used with your lightning cable for the iPhone, or a standard USB cable for an Android phone, and that will activate the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on the main infotainment screen. So just looking down here, kind of like some other brand of vehicles, we have the auto stop start kill switch down here. This is where you can turn off the feature so your vehicle stays on at all times and doesn't turn off. So one little neat piece of the infotainment system, if you go to the glove box, you'll notice that you have your CD player and SD card input in the glove box concealed. Next to it you have some SD card holders as well, so if you have any stored media there, you can kind of keep it all in one spot. And then once you're done putting your CDs or SD cards in, you can close the glove box and it's safe and sound. Alright, so looking up, we have a few controls. We have the map reading lights for drivers and passengers. We have control for the lights in the second row, and you have your on-off switch here, and this switch controls whether the lights come on or off when the door opens. And a little further back, we have a spot to put your sunglasses or driving glasses, and it keeps them safe when you're not using them. The sun visors for the driver and passenger both have lights and vanity mirrors, which you could also close as well, which turns off the light. And here we have what the auto start stop looks like from the outside. Alright, so as we come to a stop, I'll show you how the start stop works in the vehicle. So, as long as the conditions are right, as soon as we come to a stop, after about a second, it stops the vehicle, and I take my foot off the brake, and we get going. Thanks for watching our 2018 Volkswagen Atlas overview. Special thanks to Mark and Mandy for lending us the unit to look at. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and keep an eye out for upcoming videos.